It shouldn't come as any surprise that hurricanes are extremely dangerous. So let's talk about them. Hurricanes, also known as a big storm, is a natural disaster. It's really dangerous. In fact, it's so dangerous, not even Florida men can fight it. And Florida men can fight anything. Florida aside, hurricanes are just tornadoes on steroids, and their aftermath is multiplied by 5,000. If you've seen a tornado aftermath, then get ready for a hurricane aftermath. Because, spoiler alert, it's so bad. It is really disastrous for anybody or anything that gets hit with it. And now it's time for my favorite part. To cook a hurricane perfectly, you have to follow the recipe very carefully. The first step is to warm up the water and let it sit. The next step is to give it a little bit of blow. Under low pressure with perfect conditions, the water will start to evaporate. Ooh, it's rising. Make sure to open the windows to let the fresh air in. As they all condense together, they create beautiful clouds. And they release their heat to become cold clouds. As a side effect of doing that, the vapor and the air around it becomes hot, which creates a bunch of clouds, therefore making the area around it low pressure. Surrounding air wants to join in on the fun and fill in the low pressure, creating a cycle of winds. When the wind speed is exactly 30 miles per hour, no less, no more, you can take your hurricane out of the oven. If the hurricane meets a particularly hot place in the ocean, it can supercharge it to become a hurricane. And that's how you cook a hurricane. Follow the steps and you might as well just destroy Florida. Now you're probably wondering, damn, that sounds really bad. I sure hope a hurricane never hits my city. Well, you're in luck because I'm from Canada. Editor note here, we actually use the metric system and not the imperial system as shown from the chapter 2 speed of the wind. I'm sorry, the audio is already done and I don't want to touch it. And I'm going to tell you all the places where hurricanes happen the most. Most of the time, if hurricanes happen, it's eastern Canada, as usual. So basically, if you live anywhere within reaching distance of Newfoundland, for everything that is funky, get the hell out of there. And because I don't want to waste any more time than necessary, let's move on. I genuinely don't know. I don't want it to happen to me, and I don't think I'll ever experience it in my lifetime. So like all problems with life, I'm just going to Google it. Alright, so how to survive a hurricane. Aha! So apparently the best way to survive a hurricane is to get high ground, stay indoors, and seek a shelter. If your house isn't tall, good luck for you. I have no advice. Now, why do people live in Newfoundland despite the fact that there is a chance of them dying to a hurricane? Because hurricanes don't happen that often to scare people out of the country. Who would be scared from a hurricane? They don't happen that often. Now it's time for the shortest part of this video. They destroy houses, that's all that you need to know. Look at these images, now let's move on. You can't stop a hurricane, really. It's like putting your hand up in front of a shark and saying no. It's just not gonna listen, it's not gonna cooperate. Although I did tell you how to be safe from it, so you might want to revisit that chapter. If you skipped all the chapters to see the conclusion and final thoughts, let me tell you what you missed out. Hurricanes are tornadoes on steroids. The best way to be safe is to find shelter and high ground. Don't live in Newfoundland. This has been an excellent video to make and took way longer than expected. Of course, if you're really interested, do your own in-depth research. Like if you like the video, dislike if you don't, and I gotta go now. See ya.